Today from Naples, Florida, it's Swamp Buggy action on TNN's Race of the Week. Swamp Buggy racing traces its roots back to the 1930s, when legend has it a challenge was made in a potato patch, as the locals were getting ready for the start of another hunting season over who had the fastest wood buggy. From that competitive spark, local leaders organized the first official race in 1949, and they've been racing ever since. There certainly have been a lot of changes in terms of hydrodynamics and horsepower, but one thing remains constant. The Swamp Buggy races find locals from Collier County getting together for some good racing and lots of good fun. Hi, I'm Tom Rivers. This is one of my first assignments for TNN, and I'm excited about it because I grew up here in Naples, went to school here, used to come to the Swamp Buggy races as a spectator. So to cover this, the 1996 Dr. Pepper Memorial Classic Swamp Buggy races is very exciting. And I'm joined on the broadcast today by a friend of mine who knows a lot about Swamp Buggies. Heck, he knows a lot about motorsports in general. Army Armstrong. Army?
Tom, we're looking at Leonard Cheshire, one of your longtime childhood heroes, but Leonard will not be in a competition today. He had an engine explosion in the hot lap session, will not make the call. At the same time, his nephew Eddie had a problem with his vehicle. So Leonard says, look, we'll tear my motor down, take my good pieces off, and put them on your motor so you can make the call. But right now, everybody's thrashing as we're just a few minutes away from this round of eliminations.
Right now, Eddie's father, Lonnie, is pulling up to the line for the start of the six-cylinder two-wheel drive. The Cheshire's goal was to put all three, Leonard, Lonnie, and Eddie, into the big feature.
Well, you know, Leonard's not going to make the call. We've already told you the story how he's actually field stripping his vehicle to give horsepower to his nephew Eddie, but Lonnie will be able to make the call. Now, Kenny Langford comes out. Where have you heard the name Langford before? His dad runs in the unlimited category, so another second-generation driver coming into the sport.
Gary Seward's also going to answer the call, Army. He's going to be in Hound Dog, the buggy that is closest to the island, furthest away from our cameras. It's an older style buggy, as you'll notice. You know, safety is always a major concern in any kind of motorsport. And earlier, Army got a chance to head down, examine the buggies, and look at one of the measures the drivers will use in today's race.
Scuba tank in a swamp buggy race? Yeah. Technology has caught up with the swamp buggies. You know, the scuba tank and the oxygen are for the drivers in case they get under the water. That technology came from the unlimited hydroplane series and over into drag boats, but not far behind were the guys in the swamp buggies. The last 4 or 5 times we've been down to Naples, somebody's gotten under the water. These drivers don't like the danger that presents, so they go with the scuba gear in their mouth in case they do get upside down. Gives them about 2 or 3 minutes of breathing should they need it. In the past, they haven't needed that much, but they've got it now if they do need it. Better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it.
Well, that's absolutely true, Army. It's better to have it, and it's a good safety feature. Must make the drivers feel pretty good.
Well, it does. It gives a little confidence to the drivers, because like I say, they're really leaning on equipment. Now, speaking of leaning on equipment, the 6-cylinder class, you're allowed to run an inline 6-cylinder or a V6 engine. Listen to the sound of them. Sounds like a NASCAR race because they're running a Pontiac and a Buick heads that really have that high whine and the scream of the banshee sound, if you will, Tom.
You can see that Lonnie's out front. This is the only heat race in this division, so he'll have to work his way through this race and the intermediate feature. Now, Eddie and Leonard, if he would have raced, are in the 2 separate classes in the Pro Mod division.
Yeah, but right now, this 6-cylinder class is really turning into a war as the 2 generations, the names we've heard so many times, Langford and Cheshire, are battling up front. Now, they've negotiated 3/4 of the course. They're going down the long backstretch. Cheshire's in the front. Langford's kind of getting caught in a rooster tail. I think the handwriting might be on the wall. Cheshire looks like he definitely is the man to be. He went way on the outside in that turn, Tom.
Well, those guys are very strong. Hard to beat the Cheshire name when it comes to swamp buggy racing. I'm guessing that Gary Seward, who's bringing up the rear in 3rd place, would rather have brought a little more horsepower down with him from Fort Myers.
You're exactly right. You know, the Cheshire family just picked up a sponsorship with the Coastal Oil and Lubricant people, and they want to put on a good show for him. And believe me, if first impressions are lasting, he made a good first impression right there for his new sponsor.
It's hard to see that Coastal logo there, Army, if you got all that spray behind you. Now you got to look at Gary Seward, who's in his older style white buggy, rounding out the field in this first heat. Army made his way over to talk to Lonnie Chester. Probably feels pretty good about it.
It's a father and son reunion. Eddie comes over to talk to his dad. Lenny, really, you made it look smooth out there.
It's not bad. Water's a little deep for my skis. I couldn't go in the turn at all.
Hey, now, let me ask you real quick about this mouthpiece. This is new to the sport. Is that uncomfortable to you at all? Does that bother you at all out there?
Well, it's there, but it's the feeling you get from being there is a lot better.
Lonnie Chesser advancing to the intermediate feature. We're back with more Swamp Buggy action in Naples. Stay tuned.
Yeah.
The new Kawasaki Vulcan 1500 Classic, with the biggest V-twin ever to hit the asphalt. You've never felt anything like it.
Can't wait. Boy, you look so right in white, hot white. And you'll drive me mad, glad. Oh, come out and play gray. And you'll chills down my back, black. For nothing to do blue. Just wait till we get our hands on you. Can't wait.
Showers and thunderstorms today with spots of
New Prestone rain repellent. You'll see. And now you'll see an amazing offer to keep your car professionally clean in the Prestone zone. We just topped all other car cleaners with new Prestone Professional Clean. Introducing the wheel cleaner with its own scrubber, the interior cleaner with its own brush. They're not your ordinary cleaners. They're cleaning kits in a can. For a short time, you can get all 5 professional cleaners plus Prestone rain repellent for just $24.99. Call toll-free 1-888-THE-TOPS. But hurry, this offer ends soon.
Welcome back to the TNN Race of the Week. I'm Tom Rivers. You know, the Swamp Buggies aren't just one day of racing. It's a whole weekend of festivities. And folks come out early to claim their spot to watch the race. Of course, when you have a vehicle like this, it's a little easier to claim your spot. Paul Lawrence is going to put us in place to watch more of the action as you cover at trackside, Army.
You never know what you're going to see when you come to Naples. I don't know what you call that thing, but Tom, looks like you're enjoying it. Hey, looks like somebody's got a real good view here. Not only the stars and bars blowing in the breeze, but that guy's literally up in the air.
We're about to look at the modified four-wheel drive heat. You see Eddie Chesser here in Outlaw, no longer sponsored by Mickey's Big Mouth. He's sponsored now by Coastal, who's sponsoring the entire Chesser family. That's not the only change, though, and for more on some of the changes, here's Army to take a look at that.
Tom, Eddie Chesser's Coastal-sponsored Outlaw four-wheel drive vehicle has long been known as the smoothest vehicle out here. Now, I've got Eddie with me right now, and I noticed he had the engine counting off, and I found something I want him to explain to me. Is this why this vehicle is so smooth?
This helps it. Before, we used to have regular U-joints and on our steering and everything, but we went to a hydraulic steering, same as like on outboards and stuff like that. Going in the corners, the wheels, when they go where they want to go, basically. And with a hydraulic steering, we got more leverage on it, and it handles a lot better with hydraulics.
Well, we'll see if the handling and hydraulics help, Eddie, later on. Right now, Dave Sims is in the Bud Pressure. Dave has taken off a couple of years building this new buggy.
Yeah, this is a brand new buggy, and for years, Dave dominated the class in a vehicle that went by the name of Shag Nasty. It was a real workhorse. He'd get down and get dirty with the best of them, and he was notorious for running that leather helmet. But right now, the old school against the new school. Sims against Chesser.
Eddie won this race last year at Dr. Pepper Memorial Classic.
They go through the first zippy hole. Tom, you couldn't even tell it was there. They literally just flew over it, if you will.
Eddie won this race last year, and the winner goes on to the big feature. You can see as soon as Eddie jumped out front, he took that inside lane away from Dave Sims.
Yeah, now Sims, if he's going to win, it's going to have to do it on a high side and a long way around. I don't think it's going to happen. Eddie has just got a brand new vehicle that's riding on the skids perfect, and what can you say? There's his dad.
What was Lonnie trying to say to him there?
Just keep going. Don't look back. But look how smooth the vehicle's riding. This guy has always had a smooth riding vehicle. We talked about the steering, but look how the chassis rides right on the skids. Hey, That's why he's the defending world champion and a world record holder in this class.
And you see him sort of glancing around. It looks like he's taking it easy, trying to save that engine for one of the later races.
I believe you're exactly right. Now, listen to this. No, Eddie was just showing off right there. He's just showing the other guys. I still got a little muscle left in this race before the big one of the day. Meanwhile, boy, Sims, I have to wait for another day to get in the winner's circle with the butt pressure.
Well, with his new buggy, he probably has some kinks he still has yet to work out, although, you know, he might even want to have worn that leather helmet that he used to wear for a good luck measure.
If you believe in superstition, he'll be out with it the next time. The Outlaw, the current world record holder.
Well, and here you see that Sims has to get across the finish line in order to collect any money, so he's going to have to see if we can fire it back up again and have him go another foot or two to get across the line. Meanwhile, let's find out how Eddie feels about the run.
Eddie, you're out there running right at track record times. Does the vehicle feel that smooth to you?
The vehicle's smooth. I was just taking it kind of easy. I seen him there. I just got on it, and I looked back. I seen his way behind me, so I kind of eased up, saving this engine for that last race, I hope.
I noticed your dad was giving you a wave-off sign halfway through. Is that when you decided to backpedal on it and save the engine?
Yeah, I didn't quite see him, but I kind of looked back and seen that he was behind a pretty good ways.
Well, he was back there a ways, and therefore Eddie was able to take it easy. We're moving on to the Pro Mod Heat number 1, and George Lashley is in Easy Duck 2, and Bonnie Jolly is in Fatal Attraction. She had quite a scare yesterday.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, in a test session, she high-sided the vehicle. Now, that's not the first time she's done it.
You can see Bonnie checking out damage to the Fatal Attraction buggy. She obviously had some damage to it. You'll see footage from yesterday where that back wing is flattened, but she turned out okay, as she told Army.
We were trying out some new tires, and apparently they were supposed to get up and take off, and when I let up on the corner, they came back down. There were no air in them, and they left it.
What went through your mind as you were going over? A lot of people say when you do something like that, it's slow motion. Is that the way it was?
Yeah, it felt like it was slow motion, but I thought, get air, because it's going down, you know, and I gulped up as much air as I could get, and then when I got under there, it was like we were in real shallow water, but there was a lot of mud underneath that, and it was like coming in around me, and I was just kind of hanging out until I got underneath there. But he got in there pretty quick and got me out. There was no damage done. The buggy has a little bit of damage, but the guys worked hard, and it's all patched up and about ready to go again.
You know, Bonnie didn't have one of those scuba tanks we spoke of earlier on her buggy, but I bet you the next time we travel down to Naples, we'll be able to check and see if she has one.
Yeah, that's been a major discussion, I guarantee you, in that pit area. George Lashley on the inside, Bonnie on the outside, girls against the guys.
Boy, they just blow through that sippy hole.
Boy, it's amazing. Now they're trying to establish their lanes. Hey, they're close, Tom. They're real close. They get together.
Boy, it looks like she nudged him over, and now she's got that lane.
Yeah, she's going to work the inside. He has to go to the high side, but what? Now he's starting to chop down in the corner. He's trying to make a move on the inside of the track. See?
Man, they are just bumping out there.
And that water smacking you in the face at 8 pounds a gallon does not feel good. Bonnie down the middle of the lanes. Looks like she's established herself so far and is running the middle groove. George hugging the inside. He's trying to pull it on the inside. Look at this. He's trying to make a move down that backstretch.
I don't know if he's going to know where she is with all that spray on it.
Exactly. The big block Chevrolet engines are wailing as they go down that backstretch. She's on the final turn. He sits right in behind her, but I'm like you. I don't know how he's going to know when to make a move. I think it's over, Tom. I think she's got it. Check this out.
Yeah, he had to back off. I wonder if he had to back off because of the spray.
Yeah, you got it. You know, I wonder what that water feels like hitting you at about 65 or 70 mile an hour. It's got to be beating him to death sitting back here.
Let's see if we can take a look at it again here as they come down here, and you can see them sort of jockeying for position here.
No, they're not jockeying. She's taking the lane she wants. Is there a number 3 on that swamp buggy anywhere?
I didn't see Dale Earnhardt at the race today.
You know, look here. She almost high-sides it again. Comes back, well, you know, right now she says, okay.
That's mine
it's like
now.
a poker hand. She played the hand out. He didn't take the bluff.
Here's the head-on look. Let's see how they come down from this camera angle. Yeah, you can see her turning there. Yeah, she's taking it. He's not giving it to her, but she's sure taking it.
And she's not establishing, as you say. It's mine.
Let's check in with Army down in the pits for a talk with Bonnie.
Bonnie, the whole shot start had to help you. It gave you a clear track to run on.
Yeah, I think that was the only thing that made me win the race, because George stayed right on my butt, and he did a good job.
Okay, now, but you were giving him racing room. You were working from the middle out, but you were running him clean.
Yeah, he stayed right there with me, so it was a good race.
You always race to the front. We're back with more of it from Naples when we return.
I can't believe I'm losing my hair back here.
Like father, like son.
Yeah, right.
Look, if you want to regrow some hair, check this out.
Rogaine? Don't you need a prescription?
Not anymore.
How's it work? Rogaine goes to the root of your hair, and for some people, gets it to grow.
What have you got to lose?
Nothing, I guess. Except more hair.
That's been easy to use.
And it's starting to work.
See, there's room for growth in every relationship.
Rogaine, medically proven to regrow hair.
It's over here in a jar. It's over there in the car, in a drawer, on the floor. So where's your loose change? Well, it's time to cash in with Easy Money, the amazing coin machine that sorts, stacks, counts, and loads coin wrappers in just seconds. Just turn it on, then drop in a handful of loose change and watch. The wheel spins and separates each coin. Then they're launched down the tube where they're sorted. Each coin drops into its own removable tube where it's stacked and counted. And when you place a coin wrapper in the bank, it's automatically filled with the correct amount of coins. When it's done, they pop out in their neat stacks. You're left with wrapped piles of money. And with the handy AC adapter jack, you'll never need to buy batteries again. So what are you waiting for? It's Easy Money, and it's only $19.95. It'll pay for itself the very first time you fill it up. Easy Money, it makes perfect sense.
Order Easy Money today at 1-800-404-9889. It makes perfect sense. Call 1-800-404-9889.
Welcome back to a beautiful sunrise in the swamp around Naples, Florida. We're going to take you back and show you some of the highlights of the stock V8 class here at the Swamp Buggy races. You can see Tim Smith in the Spirit of the Everglades. This is the maiden voyage for this buggy. He goes by the nickname of Grumpy, loves Dale Earnhardt. In fact, he wears a number 3 baseball cap. He had the whole shot, and you'll see he's leading here over Rusty Bilger in Horsefly and Steve Armstrong in Bad Attitude. But there's no wake zones here at the Mile of Mud. And look at that. That roller is what's going to sink the Spirit of the Everglades. It actually caused him to blow a transmission, and you'll see it here as he comes to a stop.
Yeah, he literally shelled a transmission. You know, you set these vehicles up for a certain height of water, and that roller comes up. Man, it's like running dead into a wall, and that's exactly what happened to Tim.
Well, that opens the way for Rusty Bilger's Horsefly, who goes on to pass Tim and then complete the lap and pull on in with the victory. The winner of Stock V8 Heat number 1, Rusty Bilger. Army checking in with Tim Smith for a look at what happened.
That was a good run for the first time out of the box.
I appreciate it, Army.
What happened? Transmission let go?
Last night we lost a U-joint on our, it was a maiden run yesterday. And we tore the whole rear end out of it. Mike Butcher on Plumb Crazy loaned me a transmission, as an old spare he had, and I guess he just gave up.
This is the Stock V8 Heat number 2, and this is Ron Walker in Atomic Toad, pretty much going wire to wire over Swamp Rat, who you see coming behind him right there, David O'Brien. And finally, Daryl Massey in the white all-native, sponsored, of course, by the Family Sub Shop.
And Daryl Massey and the Family Sub Shop sponsored vehicle look like he's looking for the drive-in window there, because everybody seems to have him covered today, Tom.
Well, you'll see he's gonna cross the finish line there. Ron Walker, the winner of Heat number 2 of the Stock V8. From a guy with a toad on top of his roll bar to a racer with a hog's head on the helmet, there's got to be something about those animals. You'll see Porky's Revenge, Glenn Weber's Porky's Revenge, sponsored by Porky's Last Stand, a great little barbecue joint just up the road here. The TNN crew always has to stop there. He's really turned into one of the more dominant vehicles in this stock class.
You know, you're exactly right, and it's not a great little restaurant. Everybody around the world knows about this Porky's Revenge barbecue. Believe me, it's amazing, and these guys have stepped up and are sponsoring Glenn, and he's a player now. He's going to be moving into the next round of elimination.
The crew's excited because they get free barbecue. They're excited about picking up another trophy there.
Well, I just stepped on a hot cigarette.
Moving on to Stock V8 Heat number 4, Ronnie Newsom and Little Looney has the matter at hand, so well at hand that Jack Goddard and Jumpin' Jack is pulled off the course.
And Newsom still driving hard, almost high-sides it, knowing he's still going to take a win. That's how hard they're running. Stock V8, what is it? You got to run a stock type of an engine, but you are limited on the type of carburetor you can run. And believe me, Ronnie Newsom and these guys in this class make some horsepower, Tom.
We're up to Heat number 5 in the Stock V8 class. More vehicles in this class than anything except the Jeeps. And Laurie Coe has certifiable in the lead here on the first lap, but here comes David Partridge.
Yeah, now David Partridge takes a long way around, goes on the high side, lets Laurie have the lane closest to the berm on the inside, which is the shortest way around. But he's flexing his muscle, and he's using a different kind of muscle. He relies on Ford for horsepower. The engine of choice in the class is normally a big block Chevrolet, but he teams up with the Ford camp, and it looks like he is literally able to carry the mail so far.
Dave's run wasn't flawless, though, and he took a moment to talk with Army about some of the problems he had on this particular heat.
Good run for you. It looked like everything worked for you, but you're saying you're having some problem with the shifter.
No, I bumped the shifter as I took off and grabbed it and bumped it into neutral. And as I thought maybe the transmission went, so I dropped it back and it grabbed. Wow, that was close. And then she got some power from somewhere. That was close on this corner here.
This is Glenn Weber's Porky's Revenge, coming in following his win in the semis. Made it look like a Sunday barbecue, and afterwards, Army spoke with him.
I'll be real honest with you. It seems like you're reading a riot act of these guys. You guys seem to be on a roll.
I don't know what to say. These guys have been top-notch on the back end of it. All I can do is my part of sitting up here, and everything seems to be working just right. We're trying real hard, and that's all I can say.
Ron Newsom's Little Looney dead in the water, and Dave Partridge in pure luck, once again the recipient of some good fortune, as he's going to move on to the finals against Porky's Revenge.
Yeah, but you got to remember, years ago, this guy went dead in the water right before the finish line about 2 years ago. Remember that?
Yeah. Well, it's Partridge in the Ford, Weber in the Chevrolet, and we're not clowning around. We've got the Pro Mod action coming up when we return.
Boom, 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 boom. Ain't nothing cooler than the blues.
Shoot you right down.
It's living the blues. Complete. Definitive. It's the kind of collection only Time Life could put together.
It could be a spoonful of coffee. Could be a spoonful of tea.
Start with Blues Legends and get 20 absolutely essential blues classics for just $9.99 on cassette or compact disc.
Further on up the road, someone's gonna hurt you like you hurt me.
Then audition other albums. Keep only the ones you want. Satisfaction guaranteed.
Bricks ain't grocery.
The blues are hotter than ever. So call now.
To order Living the Blues, call 1-800-931-5454 or send $9.99 for one cassette or one CD, plus $3.50 shipping and handling to Living the Blues, Department 1, Richmond, Virginia.
Today on Motor Trend Television. Strap yourself in for the muscle car showdown of the year with a bare knuckles blowout between Chevrolet's Grand Sport Corvette and the all-new Mustang Cobra. Then we'll turn back the clock to 1966 and slip behind the wheel of a classic Vet Roadster.
The cutting edge of automotive journalism. Motor Trend Television. Today, only on TNN Motorsports.
When I first came to Sendo Buick Oldsmobile right here in Greensburg, I was more than a little bit nervous. This automobile business seemed so complicated. I'd seen all the confusing advertising and heard about all the complex selling systems. It all seemed way more difficult than it had to be. At Sendo Buick Oldsmobile, Route 30 East in Greensburg, we have only one simple way of doing business. Work hard, tell the truth, treat everyone the way you'd want to be treated, and above all, make sure one thing always remains the same. If you buy a Buick or an Oldsmobile someplace else, you'll pay more money.
Came from the hills and back roads, a sound of generations that found its way to this humble stage and to the ends of the earth. That stage has grown to become Opryland USA, and now with the Opryland USA passport, you can enjoy it all for just $99.95 per person plus tax. There's never been a better country music vacation value, so call now, 1-615-871-6169. Opryland USA, America's country vacation destination.
Welcome back to TNN's Race of the Week and the Dr. Pepper Memorial Classic Swamp Buggy races from Florida Sports Park in Naples, Florida. If you're looking at Michael Fillmore in Aquarius, who's going into the water now, Michael had some problems starting this vehicle prior to the race. Of course, the last time we were here, the Aquarius vehicle took a nasty flip in the big feature.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, he went upside down. He was the guy that made everybody start thinking we need to carry onboard oxygen.
The very famous Terry Langford there in Rubber Duck. Terry's had a lot of problems over the past several races. He really wants to turn it around. There's a view from our buggy cam. Long gone the Valvoline colors on Terry's buggy. Now he's sponsored by the Naples Greyhound track. Let's see if he can catch the rabbit here. There goes Sparky.
We got a race. They went to the first Zippy Hill with no problem at all. Langford made a major move in his engine program. He went to Sonny Leonard, the pro stock engine builder of drag racing fame, and it looks like he has definitely got the horsepower. We know he can drive. He's had some problems with horsepower, and he's got the horsepower today, Tom.
Boy, there's a lot of history with Terry Langford. Even though he's had problems over the past couple of races, he certainly knows how to win these swamp buggy races, and he's showing it right here.
Oh, you're exactly right. And, you know, once you get, you're kind of like we're going on the ducky cam, we're going to call it now. Once you get a taste of victory, it's kind of like a mad dog in a meat house, and Langford did not like not winning. So he teams up with Sonny Leonard out of Virginia, and look how quick they're going.
If there were horsepower questions previously, I don't think those questions exist today. It looks like he's got plenty of horsepower on the rubber duck today.
He does. It's just awesome how fast these fellows get through the mud. Aquarius is running good, but Langford is literally just slapping him around to take the win.
Again, a view from the buggy cam. You can see how much spray and water come up. So it's obviously, if you're not the guy in the lead, the view is going to be a lot of water from in front of you.
I saw a T-shirt that said that one time.
Here's the front of the track. You're looking at, they're about to make that left-hand turn.
And Langford makes an exaggerated left-hand turn to take whatever good track was in front of Aquarius away from him.
Well, it's got to feel good for Terry Langford in the winner's circle again, at least for this heat.
Terry, it looked like you're getting the rhythm back you had. And to be very honest, you lost it for about 2 years, but it looks like you're working your way back into this thing.
Yeah, we got some horsepower now, thanks to Sonny Leonard. It's just running good.
Well, he said he wanted horsepower. Looks like Terry Langford and Rubber Duck definitely has it for this run. We're going to take a look at some of the smaller horsepower classes, like the air-cooled class, featuring motorcycle and Volkswagen engines, sort of the economy class of swamp buggy racing. Of course, even in the economy class, you have to get off the line in order to be able to race. You see Puddle Jumper right here, never even gets off the line. The battle up front was between Ray Wells, Tar Buggy, and Fred Salone in the Rice Grinder. We'll see they're trying to move through the sippy hole here. Salone has motorcycle handles for a steering wheel, and he uses up lots of the mile of mud here trying to get around Tar Buggy.
Another thing about Salone, you'll notice he's picking a course. He's not going straight. He's going out here, walk the course. He's going to the high side. He's taking the long way around. Now, he starts to make a move on the outside. Again, he's walking to a different drummer. You know, this class you're talking about, it's kind of an international class. You got Kawasaki, you got Yamaha, and you got Harley Davidson in this class.
But you'll see here at the sippy hole, you'll see Ray Wells here in the Tar Buggy trying to get himself through the sippy hole ahead of Rice Grinder. And if you'll notice, he pulls himself out a lot faster, and that's where a race can be decided.
Exactly. The sippy hole, boy, spits these guys out. Look at the crew.
They're obviously happy that Ray Wells did get through and therefore win the race first.
Took him 7 years to win it.
Yeah, but Army got a chance to catch up with them about his victory.
You know, some people are saying it's the survival of the fittest, but it looked to me like you had them covered all the way.
Well, it kind of got a little scary out there. We had a little water getting to the motor, but, man, it's great. I got a great crew. They did a great job. We've had a lot of problems. It's been a super weekend, and we're just proud to be here.
Proud to be here, too, at the Swamp Buggy Races, the place where Wile E. Coyote can get respect. We'll tell you why in a second. Now, the four-cylinder four-wheel drive class features all kinds of characters, like Ray Thornton in Cold Duck, the perennial favorite who usually drives barefoot. And this guy, Joey Smith, in Son of a Sailor, he's actually Ray's cousin on leave from the Navy and is racing thanks to the help of a lot of friends. We'll let Joey explain.
My cousin Ray Thornton gave me the head, and he also gave me a lot of time and labor helping me put the buggy together. The frame was donated by some friends from Viper, and the sheet metal and the fuel cell were donated by a friend from Rubber Duck, and the front tires were donated by a friend from Easy Duck.
Good example of the spirit of swamp buggy racing, but all the help in the world couldn't stop Roy Ortega in the Intimidator. Roy's back and in the driver's seat of the Herschel Stallings Intimidator after taking a couple of years off. Roy goes wire to wire, leaving Ray and his cousin on leave from the Navy, Joey Smith, calling for the reserves.
Joey better call in the cavalry if he's going to catch this guy.
Ray takes an easy win and goes on to the little feature where he is undoubtedly the odds-on favorite. And Roy Ortega gives credit where credit is due. You'll notice he's going to hand the trophy to Wile E. Coyote. Take that, Mr. Roadrunner. Maybe he'll wrestle Swampy when we get back. We'll definitely see more racing action in a moment.
Now, for your home and shop, one amazing blade that cuts through practically anything. This is new Multi-Disc. It's safe, it won't break or shatter. It's amazingly flexible. It will never bind or kick back your work. Multi-disc cuts through this rock-hard ash baseball bat. It cuts through copper and iron pipes. Plastic pipes are cut off clean. There's no melting. Multi-disc is diamond and carbide throughout. As its powerful edge cuts, its sides grind a beautiful burr-free edge. It's one of the best grinding wheels on the market. It shapes tile, grinds away paint, rust, and debris in seconds. Call toll-free or send for Multi-disc now and start saving hundreds of dollars on single-purpose blades and wheels. Multi-disc does it all. Stop aggravating blade changes. Use the same Multi-disc to do hundreds of jobs. It saves you time and money. Best of all, Multi-disc will work on any rotary tool in your home or shop. Put it on your household drill and it cuts like magic. Grind off stripped screws or rusted bolts easily. Multi-disc cuts like a blade and grinds like a wheel. No ordinary blade can do that, and you can use it on any rotary tool you own. Compare Multi-disc with expensive steel blades for cutting Formica. Multi-disc sands while it cuts so there's no chipped edges. Call or send now. Cut perfect angles and grind curves in ceramic tile. This versatile tool cuts picture frame perfect moldings and trim. Hobbyists love it for detailing plastics, metal, and wood. Now you can take care of your own car. Remove all that paint, rust, and excess body filler. Now, in this limited time offer, you get 2 Multi-discs, a universal arbor to assure they'll fit all your rotary tools, and our unconditional money-back guarantee, all for only $12.98. Order now.
Welcome back to Naples, Florida, Dr. Pepper Memorial Classic. And somewhere away from this bustling crowd is Tom Rivers with a little piece of history.
With any motorsport, its heritage and origin become important over the years, and that's true of Swamp Buggies. In 1999, on the 50th anniversary of Swamp Buggy racing, they'll be opening the Swamp Buggy Museum here on the grounds of the Florida Sports Park. They've already inducted 30 Swamp Buggy pioneers into the Swamp Buggy Hall of Fame. And some of the more notables, like Leonard Chesser, have a very unique trophy. That's actual mud from the Sippy Hole that has challenged so many drivers over the years.
And that's what it looks like now. Recipients of the award from Leonard Chesser. In the background, you see a lot of people that are so instrumental in making this sport last for 50 years. Announcers, promoters, drivers themselves, the wives of the drivers. It's been a great sport. It's grown in it, and this time in a couple of years, it'll have its own museum right here at Florida Sports Park.
You know, Army, being from Naples, Florida, it's nice to see this. Big thumbs up for those folks for unveiling the first inductees there into the Swamp Buggy Racing Hall of Fame. It's terrific.
You're exactly right. The community has a lot to be proud of here. Speaking of being proud, one's proud of a Chevrolet, one's proud of a Ford. Tell us about them.
Dave Partridge in Pure Luck and Glenn Weber in Porky's Revenge are who's going to be going head-to-head here in this stock V8 final. You get a shot in a moment here. There they are, the Dave Partridge Pure Luck Fan Club.
That's the Partridge family.
Okay.
Where's the bus? I know what you're thinking.
Where is that bus driver? Not on the track today because, as you see, they are... Uh-oh, something happened there.
Well, he's actually backing up. There's a problem with the trans. Partridge is out. He goes on. Hey, the green flag came out. You race to the end. I don't know what the problem is in the starting line. The driver's still trying to fix something. Partridge continuing around with the Ford-powered vehicle. Oh, they got the Chevrolet started, Tom. And he's going after him.
Well, he's finally going to head after him. It sure was a long wait there trying to figure out what was going on, but it looks like Dave Partridge is going to obviously walk away with this one pretty handily.
Yeah, but Dave Partridge, now remember I told you earlier, he's been as close as 50 feet to the finish line. Had something break. The Chevrolet is coming after him with the Porky helmet. When you got a helmet with the pig on it, you can't quit. Partridge, meanwhile, is in the lead.
Glenn Weber obviously had a problem there, and he's trying to make up as much time as he can, trying to gain some ground on Dave Partridge. Will he have enough racetrack to be able to catch up to Dave Partridge in Pure Luck? I don't think so at this point.
You know, I don't know. Partridge keeps looking around, and I don't know if he really realizes that Glenn is still coming after him. He's trying to make a move on him. They're getting ready to negotiate the last turn. Now, you should be able to see Glenn make a move in the corner and get a perspective as to where he is.
Well, at the very minimum, Glenn's going to want to be competitive, so he's going to run it just as hard as he can. And here he comes. Take a look at that. Here he comes, right up behind him.
Glenn Weber trying to prove that pigs will fly. Doesn't do it.
Yeah, a little too late and not quite enough track there for him to catch up with Dave Partridge. Dave obviously had a big lead. Let's take a look at it again right off the front here. We'll see that Dave Partridge jumps right out, but there's a problem with Glenn Weber.
Weber, yeah. Weber made the initial move, goes out about 30 feet, goes dead in the water, and actually starts to back up. Partridge coming across the screen now. Hey.
He's got all kinds of time.
Exactly.
More than enough time to win the race and acknowledge the Partridge family cheering for him from the stands. On the other end of the equation is Glenn Weber.
I don't know what to say. It looked like you had this day covered, and you still got to have luck in this sport, don't you?
Yeah, lots of luck. It was just a gear shift came off my hand. Couldn't win like that.
No, you sure can. Moving on to the Pro Modified semifinals, Albert Doria in Showdown is going to face Bonnie Jolly in Fatal Attraction. Albert got an automatic bye into the semis when his first heat opponent was scratched.
But we saw Bonnie have to really work hard to get into it. As a matter of fact, she made contact with a fellow racer, flagman trying to get their attention, patting himself on the head, rubbing his stomach. I think we're ready to go racing.
I think we are.
Oh, hole shot by Bonnie Jolly. Check it out. Doria trying to make a move on the inside. He goes to the head of the class.
Well, he got ahead of her right there, but she sure made a jump off that line.
Boy, she cut a perfect light. Now, Doria stays to the high side, giving her plenty of room to race on the inside, but I don't know what it is. She doesn't seem to be driving with the confidence that I've seen her drive with in the past. Meanwhile, Doria is reading the riot act. Look at this.
Albert's been a contender for a long time, although it looks like he's almost bouncing that buggy there up out of the water.
Well, they run those skids, Tom, and his buggy is set perfect. See it riding right on the skids.
Yeah, I see
the tires are like rudders on a boat. The front of it's actually running on those skids. And I'll guarantee you he is grinning from ear to ear because this is a good run. It feels good. The motor's strong. He's going to the finish line.
Well, the driver behind him's got to be frustrated. Bonnie Jolly's about as competitive as I've seen any swamp buggy racer be. And Albert Doria, though, walks away as the winner in the semifinal here of the Pro Modifieds.
Okay, now we're going to go back and set up a replay here because something interesting happened. You draw for position in this sport. Bonnie Jolly drew the position closest to the wall. She thinks that had something to do with it. She actually moved first on Doria. Then Doria starts to mile an hour and immediately starts kicking up some water. They're awfully close together. She's trying to make a move to the left. She knows she can't go to the right. Meanwhile, he breaks out in front, and very wisely, she backs off when she starts getting pelted with all that water. Meanwhile, let's throw it down to my comrade Tom Rivers in the pits. He's with Bonnie right now.
Something happened right after the starting line. What was it?
Whenever he started to pass from the side, the spray was so bad, and I could hear his motor, so I was on top of him, and I couldn't see him, so I had to try to dash for the inside.
That's exactly right. Did he not wash you across when you went across? Yeah, because they changed the rules. The flag is there, Buggy's there, Buggy's there. Been that way for years. The winner, Cheshire's going up there just now. You guys can't line up against the wall together.
Can't, because it washed me right up into the bank out there. So, but I couldn't see him, and I was right there with him, so I could hear him. So I thought it was either, go with that way or hit him.
You left him too long. You left him too.
You do? The whole buggy just went into the bank. Yeah, you did it. What are you going to do? That's racing.
Well, Glenn Weber showing us he wasn't the only one that lost the shipper today at the Dr. Pepper Memorial Classic from Naples, Florida. We'll be back with more action.
If you have one of these, or one of these, or even one of these, then you own the engine to the most powerful, most useful tool ever invented. Introducing the Roto 7 Power Disc, a disc so strong it can cut through this hardened steel file. It can even power through this brick. Roto 7 zips through copper pipe in no time and even cuts through masonry with ease. The tempered carbide disc cuts right through this iron chain and shears off any nail in its path. Roto 7 not only breezes through ceramic tiles, but even makes rounded corners quickly and easily. And look, put the power disc on your circular saw, and you can cut smoothly through Formica. Roto 7 won't ever bind or kick back, and it won't chip your work. It always leaves a clean, smooth edge. Cutting PVC with a hacksaw can take forever, but the power disc zips right through it in seconds. Yet cutting is just the beginning. Your Roto 7 will sharpen your hand tools, sharpen your garden tools, and even sharpen
on your lawnmower blade. Install it on a bench grinder and you can grind just about anything. All your work comes out clean and burr-free. The Power Disc is the best disc you can get. It'll never break or shatter. You get not one, but 2 Power Discs for only $19.95. But wait, order now and we'll also include this Roto 7 sanding disc. You won't find a better sander anywhere. And look how easily it strips away old paint. Ordinary sanding discs keep clogging up, but Roto 7's open mesh construction keeps it running smoothly, cleanly, clog-free. You get both Power Discs plus the sanding disc, all for only $19.95. So order your Roto 7 Power Discs now.
Call toll-free 1-800-909-1800. That's 1-800-909-1800. Or send check or money order for $19.95 plus shipping to Roto 7 Power Disc, 2 Morgan Avenue, Norwalk, Connecticut. For fastest delivery, use your credit card and call 1-800-909-1800 now.
Welcome back. One of the Hall of Fame inductees, Jay Rowe, still competes in the 4-cylinder 4-wheel drive class in a swamp buggy called Scrappy. Because of his Hall of Fame duties, he didn't drive today, but he did compete in the first ever swamp buggy race held back in 1949. And as you notice, he still drives barefoot.
Yeah, he was a guy that's always driven barefoot.
Yeah. It's now time for the Pro Mod Finals. Terry Langford and Rubber Duck. You see the buggy cam there against Albert Doria in Showdown, who just got Bonnie Jolly in the abbreviated semis. We're riding along with Albert here in the big feature. You'll see that camera angle from time to time, but this one looks like a pretty good race, Army.
Yeah, we got a good race. Doria sets up a little, what they call a hop in there, and that's costing some time. Meanwhile, he's got to cross underneath Langford, and that's something you do not want to do. Look at that. Langford pushed him to the outside. Terry Langford, with that Sonny Leonard horsepower, is just awesome today. He's not only, the horsepower's not there, but the confidence is back with him and his crew. And man, these guys are pumped. They think they can win this thing today, but in order to do it, they got to stay alive and they got to stay in front of Doria. And look how smooth it is.
Boy, historically, two of the strongest names in swamp buggy racing, Albert Doria and Terry Langford. But Terry, having lacked the horsepower in the past couple of years, hasn't looked this strong. Looks terrific today.
No, like I say, he's teamed up with some old drag racers, and they're making the horsepower out there. Coming down to take the win, which should get him over into the big feature. There he is.
Wow, Terry Langford, the winner of the Pro Modified Final over Albert Doria. Congratulations to Terry. Now let's bring you up to speed on one of the really fun categories of swamp buggy racers, the Shade Tree Mechanic class, the Silicon Valley section. You can see, look at all of that. These are the Jeep class, and you can see they use anything they can to keep the water out. Silicone, chewing gum, some guys toupee. Is that what that is?
Yeah, I believe it is. A dead rabbit or something.
Well, you'll notice in GP number 1, no respect for the mailman. As they try and come around this turn here, you'll see is going to get T-boned by Doug the Intimidator McCorby in Stinkfoot. There you see it happening right there, and he ends up on the bank there. While a few of the letters may have gotten wet, other than that, no other harm was done. Gene Johnson, the winner, able to hold off Don Fromm, down and dirty to win GP number 1. Now in GP number 2, it was another good finish for Russ. We'll just call him Racer Russ, who was able to take Spider's Dream and stay just ahead of Jerry Fraley in Mean and Nasty right down to the wire. GP number 3, you got a good shot there, the co-pilot on board Little Toot. Little Toot could do no better than finish in 3rd place. That still qualifies them for the final, though. And Mike Denny in Double Trouble, your winner. And in the final for the Jeeps, it was Rob Swift in a great race.
Rob won a run. You talk about bumper to bumper. Everybody was literally pushing everybody down that backstretch.
Well, I'll tell you, it was real tight in that backstretch that last time. Got boxed in a little bit, came down on the inside. And Gene Johnson, I followed him through, and we came out ahead going into that turn the last time. And it was between me and him coming down that straightaway that final time. I'm glad everybody got it back together, David Simmons and everybody, after tearing it up real bad yesterday.
Rob mentioning the fact that his drive shaft was torn up. It can sure happen in swamp buggy racing, especially in this category. Boy, this race was one big train wreck, practically bumper to bumper the entire way. But as you see, Rob Swift had come through the last turn in the lead and was able to hold off a late run by Russ and Spider's Dream and Jerry Fraley. See the arms go up? There he is, Rob Swift, your winner in the Jeep final here at the swamp buggy races. Great run. Lonnie Chesser getting set to go into the intermediate feature. That's coming up next. But first, let's hear from a very important person here at the Swamps.
Hi, my name is Nicole Borth. I'm the 1996 Swamp Buggy Queen. Stay tuned for more Swamp Buggy action right here on TNN.
Imagine your feet are under attack, not by one flesh-eating predator, but many in a feeding frenzy. That's athlete's foot. You can't just kill some. You need a potent weapon to kill them all. Lotrimin AF. Full prescription strength medicine. The brand doctors recommend more than Desinex and Mycotin. Lotrimin AF is so deadly precise, it doesn't just kill some, it kills them all. Get Lotrimin AF, the killer cure, because they're always hungry.
Explosive, uncontrollable. It's 0 to 300 or 0 to oblivion in a heartbeat. It's the fastest, often most terrifying few seconds in sport, and anything can happen. Now, for the first time, you can own the most spectacular collection of crashes, crunches, and things gone terribly wrong. With Crash and Crunch Video, see nitro-belching quarter-mile monsters, soaring top fuel hydros, stock cars, door slammers, and more. Order Crash and Crunch today and receive absolutely free nighttime fuel and fire and track freaks, featuring high-octane explosions, rolling fireballs, jet dragsters, and other freaks of the strip. To slow down after watching these videos, you better pack a chute. Order today and receive all 3 videos for only $19.95 plus shipping and handling. These videos are going fast, so order now. Call 1-800-664-2300 or send check or money order to the address on the screen. Satisfaction guaranteed.
Tuesday on TNN.
Honky-tonkins, what I do best.
It's a Marty party with Marty Stewart, Leroy Parnell, Delbert McClinton, and Shelby Lynn.
Girl, you can sing.
Well, I try, baby.
You know how to feel. They're trying to shoot us.
The Marty Party, Tuesday on TNN.
Welcome back to Naples, Florida. For the competitors who towed in for a day at the swamps, this can be a long 2, sometimes 3-day affair. There's all the pre-race activity, and we're not talking about the parade either. It's all for a shot at being called the King of the Swamp, and all but a handful are still alive in the competition. Now let's show you some of the highlights from the little feature run just moments ago, which features the winners of the Jeep, air-cooled, and 4-cylinder 4-wheel drive class. From left to right, Rob Swift in the Jeep, Swift Kick, Ray Wells in the Tar Buggy, and Roy Ortega in the Intimidator, who not only has Wile E. Coyote along for the ride, but our Buggy Cam, as you see, as well. Now this race, Army, is really a mismatch.
You're exactly right. You know, the only chance I think that the other competitors have if old Wile E. Coyote, whoa, he almost does actually fall off, and Roy has to stop and pick him up. Other than that, next time we're going to see Roy is going to be in the next little feature race, or what's the next race they step up from here?
Intermediate. Okay. The winner of the little feature is going to move on to the intermediate, and obviously to the next step. No matter how good the other races are, there's no way they can overcome the sheer horsepower of Roy Ortega, who gets to visit the winner's circle again.
Now, the way the sport's set up, you and Wile E. Coyote are going to go back out real quick. Is that why the crew is on the back trying to get this thing cooled down?
Yes, we're not running hot. We're just, for this race, I took the skis off the back to see how it jumped the hole, and it's dragging me down way too much, and I'm going to have to get all the advantage I can get on that next race here with the 6-cylinders.
And now by putting the skis back on, you're just going to get more lift in it.
Yes, I hope to get more lift and slide across the hole a lot further than I have been.
Roy's co-pilot, Wile E. Coyote, has gotten him to this point, but Roy Ortega now goes in as the underdog. He'll be in the outside position closest to the camera. Lonnie Chesser, your odds-on favorite right there in high-tech redneck, is going to be on the inside. And Dave Partridge, the winner of the stock V8 class, really by virtue of Porky's Revenge snapping off a shifter, is going to start in the middle position. And once again, we're going to ride alongside Wile E. Coyote with our Buggy Cam on Roy Ortega's Intimidator. This is the onboard camera. And here's the start.
Now, you would think the V8 in the middle, Tom, would have an advantage in this class, but the 6-cylinder rules let Cheshire really do a lot of modification to that 6-cylinder engine, and he immediately jumps out and goes into the lead. The V8 to the number 2 spot, and the Coyote Cam, our onboard camera cam, is in the number 3 spot.
Boy, Coastal, Lonnie Chester's new sponsor, the sponsor of all of them, has to be pleased with this kind of performance today. Between him and Eddie, they've been tearing it up.
It's awesome what they're doing, but then again, when you think Swamp Buggy, you think Cheshire. Simple as that.
There you can see Dave Partridge going by, and he's just staying in the race, and he's staying in front of Roy Ortega in the hopes that something happens to Lonnie Chesser.
Yeah, Wile E. Coyote is whacking Roy on the back of the head. Now, Cheshire out here is just, he's smooth, he's looking good. What can you say? Look, the rudders are not even in the water. He has just got this vehicle set up perfect, and looks like if nothing happens, he's going to be able to make the move. Ortega, you're looking exactly what he's going through.
Wow. I'll tell you what, Lonnie Chester's Coastal Buggy is going coast to coast when it comes to the mile of mud here. They're just tearing it up here today down in Naples.
Well, Lonnie Cheshire did exactly what he came here to do. He's advancing through the rounds. That should set him up to go into the biggest of the big at the end of the day. Partridge number 2 in a Ford-powered vehicle. Not a bad run for the stock vehicle, as he's limited quite a bit as to what he can do. And pure luck, it worked for him today. It got him into this particular race. He'll take that second place finish, and Wile E. Coyote, your favorite childhood star, will finish in the number 3 spot.
Well, congratulations and kudos for the intermediate feature go to Lonnie Cheshire. And Army got a chance to catch up with him over in the pits and talk to him about where he stands and how that victory sits with him at this point in his coastal buggy.
Lonnie, this is a unique position. It's something you all worked for a couple of years, but you and your son are going to be competing each other for the big trophy today.
Yeah, that's the hell of a note, ain't it? Win that race, my big prize is to get race that thing there, ain't it? Motor's gone in that. It's not running like it should. No oil pressure's gone.
What, do you think you can handle him?
No way. He's got all he can handle with rubber duck. I'm just going to get out of their way and let him go.
Well, Lonnie Cheshire commenting on the fact that he's going to be competing against his son, says his son has his hands full already. Got some highlights now from the marathon. This is a 3-lap affair featuring the stock V8s. Now, you can get a lot of traffic in this one. Puts on quite a show for the crowd. Diesel Dan Rickford carrying the colors for Coastal Petroleum definitely took the measure of this one.
You know, this race is made up of all the guys that didn't qualify to advance through other races. We're not calling it a loser's race because, believe me, these guys really race each other hard.
You can see the scoop there on Dan Rickford's Next Generation. Did it help him in the race?
Well, the marathon provided a big win for the Coastal team today.
Well, I tell you what, it was an adventure, Army. Then people said my scoop wouldn't work, and well, we found out that thing can bail some water, because I just didn't know what was going on there for a while.
You got to love that swamp buggy engineering. Well, the stands are full. It's hot, and we've got our finalists picked for the big feature. Let's send it down to my friend Army Armstrong.
You know what you got to do? You got to beat that kid to the first corner.
I know. That's what we've been working for, so we're going to give it everything it's got.
First corner could very easily tell the circuit here, that and the starting line.
Yeah, he's a lot lighter than I am, but I seem to come on towards that first corner. We'll see. It's hard to say. You know, anything could happen. Wish him luck.
Anything can happen. And you've heard from Eddie Chesser. You also heard from Terry Langford here at the Swamp Buggy Grounds in Naples, Florida. One we haven't heard from, the quiet Chesser. The big feature is next.
Environmental pollution, ultraviolet rays, acid rain. They'll destroy your car if you let them. You could rub and rub and rub, and it still won't help. But this will. Introducing Autofoam with Formula A. Created by Blue Coral, one of the most respected names in the car care industry since 1927. Formula A is the ultimate transparent non-stick barrier, and only Autofoam has it. Look, the tablet on the right is coated with Formula A. Water just can't penetrate. And how about extreme heat? It's no match for Autofoam. Even this acid can't break its protective barrier. So how much did you pay for your car? Why not take care of it with Autofoam by Blue Coral? It's so easy to use you can't make a mistake, and it can last a year before you need to reapply. It's the #1 selling premium automotive sealant. Bring out the shine in no time with Autofoam by Blue Coral. Look, Autofoam fills in nicks and scratches in your car's finish, providing a high gloss shine that protects against environmental pollution, ultraviolet rays, even acid rain. Autofoam outprotects and outshines all other leading car waxes and polishes. But wait, there's also Autofoam Ultra Car Wash. It actually forms a protective layer of Formula A every time you wash. And that's not all. Introducing Autofoam Ultra Wheel Care. Remove brake dust, grease, and stains on contact. Spray it on, hose it off, and leave a protective layer of Formula A, all from the same bottle. So call today and get Autofoam Liquid Sealant, Autofoam Ultra Car Wash, and Autofoam Ultra Wheel Care, all with exclusive patented Formula A. Now just $19.95. Guaranteed to work or your money back. Bring out the shine in no time with Autofoam by Blue Coral.
Have your credit card ready and call 1-800-719-5252. That's 1-800-719-5252. Or send $19.95 plus $5.95 shipping to Autofoam, P.O. Box 2978, Framingham, Massachusetts. For faster delivery, call now 1-800-719-5252.
Welcome back to Naples, Florida. It's time to let the big dogs eat, as Eddie Chesser likes to say when the big feature rolls around. You're taking a look at Terry Langford in Rubber Duck, sponsored by the Naples-Fort Myers Greyhound track. Rubber Duck rolling out onto the Swamp Buggy track, as it were. Also, Eddie Chesser in Outlaw, sponsored by Coastal, one of several Coastal-sponsored vehicles. They've really stepped up, and Eddie's Outlaw, one of them. Also, Lonnie Chesser in High-Tech Redneck, also a Coastal-sponsored vehicle as well.
Now, Lonnie said he's going to let these two guys go at it. He knows he doesn't have the horsepower to run with them. He said, I'm just going to let these big dogs fight their own fight. I'm just going to watch a good race. Well, and he split the difference. That's interesting. What a start. Langford jumps off in that inside lane.
What happened to Eddie Chesser? Looked like he hesitated there for a moment.
He did. Something happened. Okay, Chesser comes into camera field on the right side. He's going after Langford, but he's going to have to do it on a high side, Tom.
Terry Langford, who's been trying to break the voodoo, as it were, looks like he's going to be able to do it.
Man, we've got an old-time war going on. You got a four-wheel drive up top, powered by horsepower out of the Chevrolet Camp, a Sunny-Litter-powered vehicle working the inside lane in the form of the Rubber Duck.
I don't know whether Lonnie Chesser's hanging back due to politeness or lack of horsepower, but it sure is a battle between Langford and Eddie Chesser right now.
One thing for sure, he's getting to see a good race just like you and I. Eddie Chesser trying to make a move on it outside. He's coming after Langford big time. They're heading down the last straight. He almost goes over, Tom.
Look at that. He just took it on the outside too far, put it up onto two of those wheels there, and almost tipped that buggy over.
He's coming after him. No, Langford will take the win.
Boy, what a race. Eddie Chesser gave it everything he had and tried to be there, but Terry Langford in Rubber Duck walks away as the winner of the big feature, and what a terrific victory for Terry this must be.
Boy, every time we come down here, it gets better and better and better. This is some good racing. Replay comes up and shows that the inside lane made a move. Chesser did not. The inside lane being the lane closest to you and I from the camera angle, so that amount of a jump is actually what he won by. It'd have been a dead heat if they had left together.
Eddie Chesser, for some reason, was late getting off the line. That gave Terry Langford the jump off the start that he needed. And not helping matters was Eddie Chesser almost tipping his buggy up on the side there as he went around the outside of Terry Langford. Here's Army in victory lane.
Terry, welcome, we say. Hooked up with a new motor builder, normally builds pro stock motors, and you're the pro guy today.
Thank you. Yeah, we talked to him if he could do it or not, and he said he could, and he did it. A lot of horsepower today.
Tell you what now, you had a lot to do with it, too. You drove a good race because you knew that kid was coming on you like a heat-seeking missile.
Yeah, I saw him, and I was just, if I knew if I had the horsepower, I'd have a chance, and it hung in there and put it on the pad.
Congratulations to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
That was a hell of a race.
I just tried to, I made a simple mistake on the line. I had it neutral. I hit the floor, I had floored it and it wasn't going nowhere, and I just reacted and threw it in high. And I tried to catch him. I tried to make a show out of it.
What were you thinking when you went up on two wheels there?
Let off before I flip over.
Lonnie Chesser collecting his gold for his win in the intermediate feature, but the day belongs to Mr. Terry Langford. A promotional consideration and fee paid for by this special offer from Diamond P Sports.
This is the Motorsports Action Series that started it all. Diamond P Sports, and they walked away with the latest edition, and they walked away for. From high-flying bikes to boats, stock cars, and dragsters, you'll see some of the most perilous moments in recent motorsports history. And in every bone-chilling incident, the driver beats the odds. You can relive those incredible moments again and again for $24.95. To order, call 1-800-504-5151 or write you the address on your screen to get, and they walked away for.
Well, Army, it's tradition here at the Swamp Buggy races that the king of the swamp, Terry Langford, takes the leap off with his queen, Nicole Borth. Nice form on him, don't you think?
Yeah, but I tell you what, check this out. She looks like an Olympic swimmer.